What's up, y'all? This is MGTV Reactions, and tonight we're going to be doing a very quick reaction on Liv's Life. Okay, so before we get started, I'm going to ask you guys to please hit the like button when you come in. Okay, comment your thoughts down below in the chat because you know I love to hear everything that y'all have to say. Okay, and also hit the subscribe button too if you have not done so already. Okay, now let's get into it. So, before we get started, I just want to say hello to everybody that is already in the chat, okay, and watching in the bushes. Also, hello to Melted Dark Chocolate. Hey, Janae Tiffany. Hey, Kingston's mother. So there we have it. Before we even get started, Kingston mother, you said I reported that GoFundMe. She's a liar, child. So we're about to get into that, okay? Now we're gonna watch her video, her advertisement, to get people to donate. Okay, so we're going to watch that. I'm going to share my screen right now, actually. Let's just get into that first because I'm just confused. The shit is shut down already, child, because there's people complaining. So let's go ahead and listen to this. All right.
Hi, I'm Liv. And I am coming here today to tell you guys a
Thank you
little
for
bit
hitting the
about my
like button.
story and to ask anyone out there, out of the kindness of your heart, if there's anything you can do to help me, I will be forever grateful. So,
It's the music in the background for me. It's like okay.
I have been going through a nasty custody battle for my three children um, for about 5 years now. My ex-husband, their father.
So here's my thing. She says she's going through a nasty custody battle. And she's been going through this nasty custody battle for about 5 to 6 years. Okay. This is not considered a custody battle. Okay. Because you stopped fighting for your children a long, long time ago. This custody order was put in place years ago. You did not feel the need to obtain an attorney as soon as the children were taken away from you to fight the issue here. So why are you calling for the people to donate for an attorney 5 to 6 years later? This is not a battle. You've already lost the battle. You lost the battle years ago. Okay. And you gave up very quickly. And all you did was complain online. And now 5 to 6 years later, you want to come back on here and say that you need money for an attorney. It's absolutely insane. Janae, you said you assaulted the like button. Okay, thank you for hitting the like button. Got shoes. You said Jen crazy. She could lose her job. Liv doesn't care. She doesn't have a job. Yeah, Jen's name is all over the GoFundMe. It's crazy. Hey, Cancer 66. David Hell, you said no battle. He got full custody. Full custody until they're 18. I saw the court docs. My point exactly. The battle has already been won by Gerard. Now you want to start the battle up again, but you only are starting the battle because you did not succeed with your plan to seduce him into coming back to you. That's what it seems like. Because why do you need the attorney now? Where was the fight in you years ago? Where was the fight? Lynn, you said Olivia is such a liar. This has nothing to do with the kid. She needs to pay her child support. Right. So that's another thing. So are you saying that you believe that this GoFundMe money is not going to go towards an attorney, but it will actually be going to her child support arrears? Like, I don't know. That could definitely be it as well. Lisa Moore, you said, yeah, I seen this on TikTok. I told her I hope you don't get the kids back. Ebony Locke, you said it's a money grab. Okay. Okay, Lynn. Well, you guys actually informed me that somebody called the courthouse. Didn't you say that another reactor contacted the courthouse and they said that there is no upcoming hearing in regards to child support? So I don't know what to think, you guys. I just honestly I feel like the people have already given her enough money, but obviously there's definitely people who are willing and ready to donate to this cause that she has brought up here. But let's continue to hear what she's saying.
has been trying trying and alienating me, actively alienating me out of their life. And it has been so messy, so crazy. You guys
So again, so she's saying that Gerard is alienating her from the children, which is not the case. She actually has alienated herself by not picking the kids up for their visits. But okay.
wouldn't even believe. Okay. So many people tell me my
Hey,
life should
Regina
be a
Jackson.
movie at this point. But I recently got called back into court because he's trying to send me to jail for not paying him child support. He knows that I cannot afford the child support. Okay, let me back up. Let me give you the short story, okay? We got a divorce. I was a dummy. I didn't run and put him on child support. So he ended up as a side chick.
You said you were a dummy. You didn't run and put him on child support. But how was he on child support and paying child support in two different states? So did Gerard go put himself on child support so that you couldn't call him a deadbeat? If Olivia didn't put him on child support, okay. The only other way that a man can wind up on child support if a woman does not go down there and file directly herself is if the woman is collecting cash assistance through the state, and then they will then put the child's father on child support. So how did he wind up on child support if she's saying that she never filed it? And how did he wind up paying it in two states? The only other way I could think of if she didn't file is if she was receiving cash assistance. That's the only thing I can think of. Okay. Cancer 66, you said, didn't she alienate herself when she left to Florida for the entire summer? She sure did. She sure did. Lynn, you said, how does someone claim broke, can't pay child support, but wants the children? So how is she supposed to support the 5 children if she's broke? That is a good question. And that's what the judge, if she were to go back to court, that is something that the judges would ask. If you're not financially capable of providing and paying child support, then what's going to be the difference when they're all in your care? Because Olivia is in this video saying that she wants 50-50. Olivia says she wants 50-50 because I believe that if there's 50-50 custody, then nobody can be put on child support. I think that's the biggest issue for her. But I mean, that's a reasonable question to ask. If you can't afford child support, how are you going to be able to support your children? Um, uh, let's see. Judy Carrera, you said he did. He put himself on it. Okay, okay. JB, you said it's the face. It's the face, sad face looking for me, looking around, looking stupid as fuck. The background music had me cracking up. Yeah, it's killing me. The background music is giving like the Hungry Kids. Um, the commercial for the Hungry Kids where they're playing the music in the background and the kids are looking sad with big stomachs. That's what it's given to me. Lynn, you said yes, you did put him on child support. Kingston's mother, you said she put himself on child support. Okay, okay, but let's continue.
At the time, he was cheating on me with her. We were married. And anyway, they were planning the great plan to take my children away from me. And since I was a naive single mother of 3 children at the time, I did not run to put him on child support or establish custody at the time. I didn't know how serious that was. And he did it before I could do it. And he lied on me in court. He admitted to the judge he bought me drugs in order to say I was on drugs. I was never on drugs. He said,
But you said he admitted to the judge. So if he admitted to the judge that he's actually bought drugs for you, you're saying that he admitted to that. So clearly, at some point in time, he did go out and buy drugs for you to use. Well, and you actually came on here yourself and admitted to snorting. So, but let's continue.
said the worst of the worst. And I didn't have a lawyer to represent me. Ladies, understand this. If you marry a man in the US, okay, he has equal rights to your children, okay? So if you go through a divorce, I know most women know this, but my dumb self was too slow to understand this at the time. But have a divorce attorney handy, okay, ready, because something like this could happen. He got a lawyer. First of all, he took my tax money that year. I'm never gonna forget that because he illegally.
It's like you're trying to advertise for people to donate to a GoFundMe, and you go into this whole story again that you've already told a million times about how, he cheated on you with Nisha and he planned this plan. Okay. Okay.
He took my tax money because my children always lived with me their whole life. Okay. Um, he took the tax money. He got the lawyer, and he took my children away from me. He lied. He lied in court, and I didn't have anyone representing me. And the judge gave him my kids. And since that time, it has been a battle to just be in their life and be a mother to them. Recently, as of this year, I was so desperate to be more.
Well, why has it been a battle to be in their lives? If you have joint legal custody of the kids and he has primary physical and you have partial physical custody, why is it a battle? I'm still, there is no battle. You just choose not to show up for your kids when you don't have your way. And if he's not accommodating you, because he won't drop the kids off, you're not getting the kids. But anyway, let's continue. It's the same shit, different day with this lady.
more in my kid's life to get. We share custody right now. We have shared guardianship, but he has primary, which means they live with him and his now wife, which was the side chick. And it's just a horrible situation. But ladies, just of last this year, I ended back sleeping with him because I was so desperate to be in my kid's life more. And I thought that if I got on his good side or whatever, he would allow me to. Anyway, the wife ended up finding out, honey, it's a huge mess. And now, and mind you, he was giving me money while I was sleeping with him. We had like a 5-month affair. I didn't know he was married. He kept that from me. He said he wasn't married. I mean, I knew he was with the woman, but baby, I don't care. I didn't care because I had one goal in mind, to get my kids back, okay? And his goal was obviously what it was, but I didn't care about her because, mind you, she didn't care about me. Okay, and I'm definitely a girl's girl, but and I don't do that to women. But in this situation, I didn't care because once again, she was sleeping with him when he was my husband. So anyway, enough of that. My whole point is, him and I had an affair with him, a 5-month affair. During this affair, this man was giving me money, okay, because he knew that I didn't have I didn't have money. I'm a single mom still. I have two more children, and you know,
I can't. Her constantly saying that he was giving her money means what? He gave you money during the time when you were supposed to have all five of the children. Okay, he knew that his three were coming over, and you told him that you didn't have any money, and so that's why he gave it to you. He gave it to you because you were going to have his children over there. And I don't know, I just think that it's crazy that, she has the money. First of all, back to when this initially first started, and they had the whole court thing going on. She had the money for lip fillers, tattoos. She had a man staying over there. Apparently, y'all said she was paying for his studio time, and you were doing all the things with your money, but you had no ability. You didn't have enough money to pay for an attorney. And now 6 years later, after you've been doing all the mess that you're doing, and immediately after you just got finished scamming the people, saying that you were homeless, you're on here asking for money again for an attorney that you should have gotten 5 to 6 years ago. Like, what's really? It's just not making any. This is dumb as hell. This is dumb as hell. And so far on her GoFundMe, she has raised The goal is 5,000, and she has only gotten $20 so far.
I have help, and I have help from who I have help from, but he knows that I'm not in a place to pay him child support. And he uses this child support over my head the way he's doing now. And now he's trying to revoke it and put me in jail because I have not paid him child support. Mind you, I have been, during our 5 month affair, I was begging him just to give me 1 week on, 1 week off because I want to do more for my kids. But you have to understand, I have a man now as well, and my man supports me and my two children that live with me. So if my other children were here, then he would do the same. But I cannot ask this man.
She's talking about her man supports her and her children, but yet and still, I think she's still on live, but she was just on live saying that she no longer has a man. Like this lady and her stories, like every day, it's a change, it's a different story, it's something else going on every single day.
To pay my child support, it doesn't work that way. But the father of my three kids, he could easily give me shared, living, and I would be doing just as much for my kids, but he does not want to share my children with
Well,
me.
how would you be doing just as much for your children if you don't even have the means to do for them financially now? How is it possible? You don't have a job. You told the people that you don't get paid from YouTube, but we all know that that's a lie because there's plenty of ads throughout all of your videos, and there's plenty of people sending super chats, so you're definitely monetized. But you do not have a job. You know, you say that you can't afford child support. So how are you going to be doing equally as much for them if you actually get 50 custody? I just like, you got to make it make sense.
Wants to actually, and the lady he's with, they want to X me out of my kid's life altogether. That's what they've been trying to do for the past 5 years. And dealing with him for the last 5 months, or not the last 5 months, but the affair lasted from January to May. Okay, dealing with him during that time, and it was of 2025. Dealing with him during that time, I thought, if anything, we were building a friendship, and he was finally changing and coming around, and he's gonna allow me to get my kids, because you guys, there was no reason for me to even lose my kids. I was not on drugs. I was not abusive. I was not neglectful. He said all of these things in court, by the way, but they were not true. They were not true. There was no findings of any of that being true. Um, so I'm asking anybody out there that can donate to my GoFundMe. I need to get a lawyer. My court date is set for September 30th. I need to get a lawyer within the next couple of weeks because I have to get a lawyer. And I know my oldest daughter wants to live with me. She's going to be 12 soon. And I want her to be able to go in front of the judge and say where she wants to live, because my babies want to be with their mom. They want to.
Well, how do you know that they want to be with you, Liv? When's the last time you talked to them? When's the last time you talked to them? If you haven't seen your kids in months, right, and you barely talk to them over the phone, how do you know that they have these feelings, that they actually want to be with you? What makes you think that? I really don't even think, I don't know. I really don't think that Liv even wants them to be with her because she doesn't try hard enough to exercise the rights that she currently has. She doesn't even do what she's supposed to do now. So I really don't believe that she really wants them with her, to be honest.
There's no question about it. They love me. Our bond is so strong. And I feel like children should be able to be where they want to be. They shouldn't be forced to be where they don't want to be. My daughter is going to be 12. My other beautiful daughter is 7. And my son, my baby, he's 10. So they're almost getting to that age. And this is almost over, this nightmare of dealing with this person. And by the way, let me say this.
Why do you think that this is almost over? So because your oldest child is about to turn 12, okay, you believe that this is almost over? Girl, you got at least, first of all, at least 6 more years to deal with this man, to have to be bothered with this man when it, like, and that's just with the oldest child. Just because the child is turning 12, that does not mean that the battle is almost over and that they just going to come home with you because she's about to be 12. If you're not seen as the fit parent in the judge's eyes, it's not going to happen. And everything that you've displayed on the internet has already showed the people and could also potentially show the judge that you are not the fit parent. The children do not belong with a woman who is online crying and faking homelessness. A woman who is I like what are you talking about? I don't know. I don't know. It's just not making no sense to me. Um but there are definitely people who are just waiting and can't wait to donate to her.
I've beat myself up so much for messing with that man, and I'm disgusted, and I can't believe I even did that with a man who has done so much evil to me. But regardless, that's in the past and it will never happen again. I know why I did it. I did it so I can get more time with my kids. But anybody out there who can donate to my GoFundMe, I will have it linked in the bio or down below in the comments. Please, I need to retain a lawyer. I need to have a lawyer help me fight for my babies. And I don't even want to take them away from him. I just want equal living. I want my kids equally. I want to be able to make decisions. I want to be involved. I am not allowed to be involved. I'm not allowed to call my kids whenever I want. I'm allowed 3 phone calls a week, and this is how it's been for 5 years. 3 phone calls a week for half an hour. That's if he lets me speak to them. I'm allowed to see them twice a month. That's if he shows up. Like I said, he's been alienating me out of their life, and now that he
Is it if he shows up, or if is it if you show up? You said you're allowed 3 phone calls a week. Do you call 3 times a week? Do you at least try to speak to your kids 3 times a week when you're supposed to? Have you even attempted to try to follow the custody order that you currently have? So this is why this is a losing battle for her, because if they go to court, right, and Gerard shows evidence and proof that she has not even followed the custody order or tried to exercise the rights that she currently has, why would they give you more time? You're already not picking them up for all their visits that they're supposed to have with you. You just abandoned them over the summer when you could have had your children the entire summer to yourself. You could have had a ball with your children, but you chose to leave them behind and go to Florida to do whatever it is that you wanted to do and to scam the people for thousands of dollars with your homeless scam. That's what you chose to do. So you abandoned your kids to go do that. You also, before that, you didn't pick them up. Mother's Day, you did not pick them up. You don't utilize the custody that you currently have. So the likelihood of a judge granting you more custody just because you want it is very, very slim. So there's that.
messed up and cheated on his wife, now I'm even more exiled out of their life. It is so disgusting, so horrible. And if anybody can help, please find it in your heart to help, because I need to fight this fight and I need to give it a good fight. I need to give it everything I got.
Well, you should have did that in the beginning. You should have did that in the beginning, child.
Thank you so much for listening to
Hey,
my
Mary
story. If you
Reed
guys have any more
or
questions, you can
Mary
tell me.
Red.
You can put it in the comments and I will gladly answer. I love you guys so much. And
Anyway, there's that. Okay, that concludes her video on that topic. Let's see the comments. So she has her GoFundMe link posted, and let's read the comments. So somebody said they can say whatever they want about you, but one thing they can't say is that you're ugly. Like, okay, what does they have to do with anything? Somebody else said, Liv, they won't let me donate anything. Please fix it. Somebody else said, love you, girl. You're so beautiful. Holy ish, girl. I feel like I've missed a whole chapter. Is the wife divorcing him now? They don't, okay. Somebody else said, hey, love, I tried donating and it said I couldn't. It said you have to fix something on your end. They said donations are paused. You need to fix something. Then somebody else just said, hey, I tried to donate, but it refunded me. Can you email me back? I feel horrible. I know you need this so bad. I just don't know why they feel like she needs it so bad. Um, I don't know why they feel like she needs it so bad. Why didn't you get it when you actually needed it in the beginning, when it was an actual battle occurring. You lost the battle. Anyway, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. We're going to head on over to her GoFundMe. This is the GoFundMe right here. I'll show it to you guys. And let's see. So it says, fight for fair custody. Fight for fair custody. A mother's plea. $20 have been raised, okay, by one person. And she said, please help me retain a lawyer to fight for equal rights for me and my 3 oldest babies. They were ripped from my home by my ex-husband, who has tried relentlessly to alienate me from their lives. I am begging for equal rights and justice to a situation that was unfair and uncalled for. I just want to be a mom to my 3 oldest heartbeats, okay? That's what she said. Now, okay. So there's that. There you have it, you guys. Now, because people are unable to donate, that leads me to believe that Olivia, the people have gotten the shit shut down, basically. David Hell, you said report the GoFundMe. I'm not going to report her GoFundMe. I told you guys that's not the type of person that I am. I'm not going to interfere with anything anybody has going on, but I know that you guys are going to do what you guys do, okay? I'm not going to report shit. It's obviously already been reported enough to where as though they have paused her being able to receive donations. So there's that. I don't have to do any of that. Anyway, I'm going to scroll up because I do want to read you guys' comments. I know I didn't look. Through at Life of Nancy, I'm going to start at Life of Nancy. You said she's never fought for her kids and she hasn't even cared to see them since she's been back. She won't use any of it for a lawyer. I don't disagree with you. I don't feel like Olivia, if she did meet her goal of $5,000, I highly doubt that all of the money would be spent on a lawyer. And it's just really weird. You're telling them that you have a hearing coming up in September. However, you have a hearing coming up in September, but that's for child support, supposedly. But then again, the people said that somebody called the courts and they said there is no hearing scheduled for September. Okay, so I don't know if it's a lie or the truth. Okay, but now you're on here asking for donations for a custody battle. Okay, I agree with you though, Life of Nancy. She has never fought for her kids. She did not fight when she was supposed to, and I just think that it's a pointless fight 6 years later. They've already been there for 6 years. Do better and exercise the rights that you do currently have. That's my opinion on that. Melody Coles, you said, girl, bye. You don't call on time and you have bailed out on your kids. I agree. Let me scroll down. Lynn, you said she needs psychological help and those children are in danger if kept in the hands of a mentally unstable parent. I don't disagree. Brandy Stuttgart, you said Liv thinks she can show up to court, bat those eyelashes, and somehow the judge will overturn the ruling. Yeah, and that's not going to happen. Like I said, because of the fact that she has not followed the custody order that she currently has, the likelihood of a judge granting her what she's asking for is very, very slim. They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. You haven't even abided by the custody order that you already have. You're not utilizing the time that you were already given. So why are you deserving of more time with your children? Because you birthed them? That's not a good enough explanation. Let's see. Lisa Moore, you said that her last lawyer dropped her for not cooperating. She never had a lawyer. So there's that. Moody D, you said, I think she left because she didn't want them kids full-time by herself because last time Stella was there and this summer she went big. Okay. That could be the case, but so here's the thing. If she were to get custody, if she were to get the 50-50 custody that she's asking for now, she couldn't handle it over the summer. How would she be able to handle it if she actually got what she wants? It makes no sense. SK Lee, you said she signed a document saying that she was using drugs. Wow. You said she just scammed the folks and now another one. Wow. Yeah. Signed what kind of a document? So you're saying that she signed a document confirming that she was doing drugs. I find that hard to believe. Because why would she do that? That girl rapping, you said 5 years and she never retained a lawyer. That's my whole point. Girl, what's the point? Why you want to do it now? Because you can't have Gerard? because you finally had your chance to get your hands on them and your plan was not successful. It didn't go through how you thought it was going to go through, and now you have the urge to fight for your kids suddenly, but there was no urge to do this all these years. Um, Regina Jackson, you said, "Are you sure, Liv? Because the last time they were at your house, Christian said he didn't want to be there. He wanted to go home, and you got mad at him." Wow. Mm-mm-mm. EJ, you said she will spend the money and say the judge denied her. Child. Lynn, you said, "Do you see how reckless and dangerous her rationality is? This has nothing to do with these children. She's a woman scorned and a deadbeat." I agree. Definitely doesn't appear to have anything to do with the children, because if you were truly hurting about not having your children, you would have fought for those kids a long time ago. And you damn sure wouldn't have had a thought in your mind to say, "Oh, let me go lay down with some more bombs and create more kids so that I'll be distracted and not fully able to give my all to the three that I have lost." So I agree. Melody Coles, you said, for her to have lived in Florida, she hasn't took them babies to Disney or any of those parks. And on top of that, you get a discount being a resident. Deadbeat 304. Yeah, I mean, well, she's in Texas now, so the people said that she said to the children that she was going to take them with her to Florida for the summer. And look what happened. She left them behind. How trifling is that? Regina Jackson, you said, "I looked for the GoFundMe. I didn't see it." Well, it's still up there. You just can't. I guess you can't donate right now. That's what the other people in her comments are saying. Banana Muffin, you said, "Did y'all discuss why Jen is the beneficiary?" No, we actually didn't touch that. Now, since you brought that up, here's my thing. Jen is the beneficiary because who knows if Olivia was to receive a few thousand in donations. I don't know if child support has the ability to garnish that. But obviously, she would need somebody else to be the beneficiary of the GoFundMe. She doesn't want to have the money in her name because it possibly could be used against her later. That's what deadbeats do, though. So my thought is she probably thought that there might be a possibility that the donations could be garnished for child support. That's my thought. Um, and what's the other reason that it could be? Let me think. Yeah, just that. Why else wouldn't she have it in her name? Let's see. Okay, sorry about that, David. Um, Banana Muffin, you said, "I think Liv is using the money for a chunk towards child support." Probably so. That could be the case. But then what? So then you just still never get a lawyer to fight for your kids? Like, I don't know. But you could definitely be right. Just like she lied to the people, said she was homeless, and the whole time she basically got the money and I guess paid her rent or did whatever she did with it. You know, it's not out of her character to lie and say she needs the money for one thing and then use it for another. Um, that girl rapping, you said, "Someone needs to leave a comment reminding her how she wouldn't call, pick them up on schedule, dip out on her 30 days in the summer, and she's supposed to have etc. But he's alienating her." Yeah, I don't know. A comment is pretty much pointless. Olivia knows exactly what she's doing, but she has an audience of people that she's able to brainwash and manipulate, and so that's what she's going to do. She doesn't give a damn about anybody saying anything in the comments at all. Um, Annie, you said, "Can you imagine $400 to keep your kids and you went on a vacation instead?" So she went on a vacation during that time when she first initially lost the kids? That's crazy. Um, Banana Muffin, you said, "She proved today that she still doesn't care about education. AJ was begging her to take him to school." So she didn't take him to school? I didn't catch that. Yeah, I'm quite sure he'd much rather be at school than be in the house with her screaming at the top of her fucking lungs at him all day. Like, at what point? Let me see. Is she still alive? Oh, she is. Damn. Because we definitely could have went over there to react on that. But let me read the rest of y'all comments. David, you said she should be in jail for not paying child support. I mean, it is what it is. I don't disagree with that. People would say the same thing if it was a man. Okay, now Olivia clearly has money. She just does not want to give the money to Gerard for the kids. That's all this is. Um, Virginia, you said somebody said she didn't get AJ to school till 11:30. So how is she going to get the Web3 to school an hour away? She's not going to be able to get them to school. Olivia does not care about her kids going to school. She does not care. That's obvious. I don't know how many days of school the kids missed when they were actually with her, but it had to be a very, very extreme amount for the judge to take those kids away from her. She obviously clearly wasn't doing anything the way she was supposed to. Um, David Hell, you said she had one lawyer and they dumped her. Wow. EJ, you said you don't believe she has court. Child, I don't know what to believe because y'all said that there is no court date. She's saying that it is. Now, I would believe y'all over her, so I'm going with there is no court date. Maybe she just scamming for other purposes. Um, oh, you said she did. She did. Okay, let me scroll down because I got to catch up with y'all comments. So, Melody Coles, you said, I have been to Florida and Texas at all parks coming from Indiana with 4 kids and a husband. That ish isn't cheap. Always about 10 racks. Yeah, trust me, I know because I did the same thing. I'm a single mother with 4 children, okay? And I took my kids to Florida and oh gosh. It was expensive, but definitely worth it, okay? To provide my kids with that experience. So, um, Life of Nancy, you said, did you hear when she asked the baby if she missed AJ and the baby said no? Liv tried to play it off like she was saying no's. Wow. Maybe she doesn't miss AJ because AJ don't do shit but bully her. So I wouldn't be surprised. You said AJ's first day of school clothes were from Goodwill. Child, that's on her. Virginia, you said she's such a good mother but didn't take Christian to the hospital to have him checked out. Then Robin cut herself and she had to call Gerard to get permission for care. That's not 50-50. Child, she probably don't even know what kind of health insurance Robin got. She don't know what the hell to tell the people at the hospital. That girl repping says the Web3 missed like 70 days of school when she had them. Yeah, 70 is actually out of control. There's no reasonable explanation as to why a child would miss 70 days of school. No explanation at all. So that's on her. Olivia did all of this to herself. And like I said, 6 years later, now you want to get an attorney to fight for 50-50 custody. It just, that doesn't even sound right. You should have had fight from the very beginning. I would have been way more passionate and angry and motivated to fight for my motherfucking kids in the beginning when they were first snatched. Not 6 years later. That doesn't add up. Banana Muffin, you said the kids missed it. Oh, wait. You said at least 60 days, and she just said a couple days ago that it didn't matter because they were young. She said Robin was 7 or 8, so it didn't matter. Well, obviously it did. That's one of the reasons why she doesn't have her kids, right? So Olivia just doesn't know what she's talking about. And another thing she said in that video was, you know, when you're married to a man, they have equal rights to the children. Well, why shouldn't the man have equal rights to the children that he helped you make? And it doesn't even count. It doesn't even matter. I'm not going to say it doesn't count because it does because you're married. But even if you're not married, if there has been an acknowledgement of paternity, meaning that man has signed the birth certificate or that man, whatever, if his name's on the birth certificate, he already has equal rights to the child. It doesn't have to be just because you're married. First things first, if nobody goes, if you're not married to the man, right? Because I had to learn this shit the hard way, y'all. I had to learn the hard way, child. If nobody files for custody of the child, nobody has custody of the child if it's not on paper, okay? The state has custody of your child unless one of you go file. That's how crazy it is out here. She don't know what the fuck she's talking about. But obviously, there's equal rights, regardless if you're married or not. If he acknowledges that he's the father of that child, his name is on the birth certificate, it is what it is. It's going to be a fight either way. It doesn't matter that you were married to him. Let's see. Lynn, you said until she gets mental health and starts taking accountability for everything that she has done, she will never change because she will always play the victim. I agree with you. But the thing about it is, you have to first take accountability and be able to acknowledge that there's an issue. Okay? Olivia is not able to do that. Olivia is not able to fully acknowledge her faults. She's not able to take herself out of the victim uh she wants to constantly portray herself as the victim, period. So she's never going to take accountability and own up to the things that she's done to cause this type of situation that she's in. It's never going to happen. So she's never going to get help because she thinks that it's nothing wrong with her. It's nothing wrong with the things she's done. It's nothing wrong with the way she was raising her children. She doesn't see anything wrong with anything she's done. So she's never going to change. SK Lee, you said with this whole backstory she lies about. Oh, with this whole backstory she lies about, she leaves out the fact that she got pregnant by another man and tried to pin it on Gerard 3 months into the marriage, and that's what caused the downfall. I just feel like who even gives a damn about the downfall of the marriage at this point? That man left. That man is married to somebody else. The past is the past. Gerard lived how many years ago? If the kids were taken, I don't know, 5 to 6 years ago, that means Gerard probably left her, but what, 7 years ago? And has been with Nisha? Who really gives a damn about the downfall? That's over and done with. He's in a whole nother situation now, and Olivia has 2 kids. I don't even understand what's the point in keep talking about the backstory of the downfall of the relationship. The point is that it ended, and here you are now. Like, it's just like, that's what really irritates me about her. Like, none of that shit matters anymore. Um, David Hill says, "Be glad he cares about his kids." Yeah, I mean that is a good thing that he cares about his kids. I mean, I can understand her being hurt because he cared about his kids so much that he went to war to take them from her. But it is what it is. If he hadn't done that, Olivia would continue to make his life hell and not allow him to see his children. And that's the part that she leaves out. She doesn't want to talk about the fact that she accused him of kidnapping the kids and had the police pull up and draw guns out while he had the kids in the car. She doesn't want to talk about shit like that. She doesn't want to talk about the fact that she wouldn't allow the kids to talk to him on an iPad or whatever the fuck it was that he bought the kids so that he could talk to them. She doesn't want to talk about that. So she's sitting here saying that he's alienating her, but she actually alienated him from the kids when she had them. That's what she does. And right now what's happening is she's alienating herself from the children because she's not even picking them up for her visits. She's not doing anything that she's supposed to. Um Let's see. Life of Nancy, you said she can feel however she wants about Nisha, but Nisha never abandoned the kids when things got hard with Gerard. Liv can never say the same. You have a point there. David Hill, you said Gerard did DNA. Okay, well, good for him. Good for him. Regina says Liv and Nisha's mom had words because Liv was real late picking up Ryan. Nisha's mom told her to do better. Well, she ain't telling nothing wrong. Melody Cole said, "That's crazy. He has to get DNA on your kids and been with someone over a couple of years." To be honest, I think that doesn't even matter, being with somebody over a couple of years. I think that all men should get DNA tests. I think so because it's been men who have been with women for years, right? We've seen it. We see it all the time. Men who have been in relationships with women for years, and they are unaware of the fact that their partner is cheating on them, and then they end up raising children that don't belong to them, and they don't find out until years later after they've already spent, they already have an emotional attachment to the child. They already have a bond with the child. They've already put out so much money for the child. And it's unfair to men to not know for sure. So whether you're in a relationship with a man long term or not, I do think that they should all be able to get DNA tests. And it shouldn't be an issue. Why would you be upset about it if you know that you have nothing to hide? That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. Um Annie, you said she stood in front of the judge claiming Bands was a coworker, knowing his record and still had his child. Doesn't help her case. That's true. Life of Nancy, you said this court date is going to be good. Unless Stella goes out there, she's going to lose those kids if she gets locked up. Child, what the hell is my cat doing? My cat is crazy, y'all. This fucking cat just jumped out of the drawer. I don't even know how she got in there. Like, oh goodness. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't even know if I believe that there's a court date. Okay. Um, Annie says I offered to pay for one when my child's father wanted to play games. Yeah, listen. If you know that you have not been out here moving foul, there should be no reason why you would be upset about a man asking for a DNA test. That's just what it is. That's just my opinion. I think that they all should get those because it's been too many stories of men out here taking care of kids that's not theirs, and it's just not fair to them. It's not. Um, Regina, you said Gerard had to get private detectives to go find her to serve her with paperwork. She was with Brandon. The detective said she took the document and threw it on the ground. Hey, Melissa. Yeah, that's insane. Melody Coles, you said you can get that when the baby is born, but I guess I don't know nothing about that. Um, I mean, child, you can get a DNA test from anywhere. Shit, you can go to Walmart or CVS. Listen, you can buy DNA tests from anywhere. Do the swab yourself and mail that shit off, or you can get it done at the hospital. However it needs to be done, it can get done. If there's a will, there's a way. Um, Annie says we had it done 98% and he wanted another one because it wasn't 100%. That's a man for you. I mean, how much 98%? What the like okay. But that is weird. Why was it just 98%, child? Either way, 98% is good enough. That's your child. Let's see. As Kaylee, you said Zolo asked to have a DNA test done. She said no. That doesn't make any well. And I think I'll say this. I think that Liv told Zolo no because she does not want to have this type of a situation again. If there is a DNA test on file, or if they get a DNA test done and it's proven that Zolo is the father, he would then be able to give her hell the same way Gerard did in court. And Olivia does not want that. She doesn't want that at all. EJ says, I think DNA tests should be mandatory directly after birth. I don't disagree with that. Like I said, if you know you ain't been moving foul, it shouldn't be no issue. Should be no issue. David Hell, you said Liv did not take the Webb kids to school for 2 months in Florida. You know, I really don't understand that because even if Olivia does not value education, as much as she screams and hollers at her fucking kids, you would think that she would be taking them off to school every chance she got just to get a break. You would think. Because I know I do. Shit, if it's school and my kids ain't sick, well, first of all, I go to work every day, so they got to go to school regardless. But still, school is a break. Even if I don't fucking feel good and I call out of work, them kids is going to school. They going to school. So I don't understand why she wouldn't be taking her kids to school. Um, let's see. Melissa, you said I'm excited to finally see Joey in action. If he is real, I hope he stays around because listening to AJ count count his daddy was heartbreaking. Mm. Well, Joey's never going to show up. Olivia just said on live. Well, first of all, the live that she's currently on right now, she actually said she was about to call their dad. You know, Joey. She called. He did not answer. She said she doesn't have a man and that she's no longer concerned about men. So Joey's not showing up. There's that. We don't have to wait on that at all. He's not coming. She said that before. She's already said that before. Now let me see something real quick. Let me check this real quick. All right, then let me go back. So you guys, there's that. Life of Nancy, you say he didn't answer. No, he didn't. And she said, "Oh, he didn't answer the phone because he's with his daughter." So my question is this: if you actually have a man, right? You claim you got a man, but he can't talk to you when he's around his kids. What the fuck does that sound like? Does he actually have a wife or something? Does he have a family? And he's not allowed. He can't answer the phone when he's with his family. Because if you're actually, at one point, she was saying that she's in a relationship with him, right? So if you're in a relationship with this man, why can he not talk to you when he's around his children? That doesn't even sound right at all. SK Lee said the judge told my grandkid's father that 1% more he would be himself and get out of his court and pay your child support. Mm. So my grandkid's father that 1% more he would be himself and get out of his court and pay your child support. That's crazy. Um Melody Coles, you said them kids doesn't have the same dad. No, I know, but she says that Joey loves AJ like his own, right? That's why Joey is the one who is supposedly paying half the rent. Joey sent her the money to go out and buy AJ clothes for school. Joey, all the things he's paying for AJ's daycare and all the things. She's saying that Joey cares for AJ as his own. So she said, I'm calling their dad. Okay. Life of Nancy, you said which live did she say that? I got to see that one. It's the one that she's still on, and I was hoping that after some time passed on, while I'm on live with y'all, she would get off and then we could just head on over there. But no, she's still going, and she's still going because she's upset that some reactors and it was a man reactor talking about her on live with another reactor today. So she was ranting and raving about that. Okay, so she's gonna be on here for a while, so we're gonna have to catch that another day. Um. Let's see. Annie says she's crazy. Having a man in the home would hurt her visitations. He would have to get a background check. Wow, I didn't know that. That's interesting. I did not know that. So if you have a man that can affect your visitation, well, I think that that's unfair because men don't have to get background checks for their girlfriends when they have all these different bitches around their kids. So why do women have to do that if they have a male in the house? That doesn't make sense. And now I don't think that any man should just be around the kids, but I'm just saying, how could it affect you in court if men are not required to have their partners do a background check too? Um, Life of Nancy, you said she only said he was coming because she thought it would make Gerard jealous and he would show up at her apartment. Well, Gerard knows who Liv is. He knows her better than any of us do, and he knows that Olivia lies. So Gerard is not. If Gerard was that jealous, he would have been mad when she had another man in her bed on Valentine's Day. Didn't she say the affair lasted 5 months and they started talking in January? So he would have been pissed off then. Gerard does not care. He knows what type of woman she is. Um, let's see. Jack Lee, you said she played with that homeless skit. Now some real issues happening and she really needs money. I guess. I don't know. She definitely played with the homeless skit, but I don't. What's really happening besides the child support? What's really happening? But I definitely don't believe that she's about to go fight for her kids all of a sudden, 6 years later. Banana Muffin, you said if Joey treats AJ like his own, then why doesn't AJ ever say he wants to call Joey on his iPad? He also stopped asking about calling Zolo. That's a good question. AJ doesn't ask to call anybody but his grandma. So that's a very good question. I don't know, but she called somebody, okay, and they did not answer. So there's that. And that's embarrassing. She just embarrassed her own fucking self on live. You claim you in a relationship with a man, that is supposedly acting as the father of both your children, and he does not answer the phone because he's actually with his other children, right? Meanwhile, he has not met the biological child that he shares with you. It's just none of it makes sense. EJ, you say even if he is with his daughter, Kalani is not his daughter. Exactly. But Kalani doesn't matter to him, obviously. He hasn't even seen her. So no, I guess Kalani is not as equally as important as the one that he's actually able to be around up close and in person. The bond is different. He doesn't have the same bond with Kalani because he's never met her. Meanwhile, he spends time with the other kids wherever he is. So of course, they're going to be the priority. And that's disgusting. How could you want to claim or be with a man who has no bond with your child that you have with him? Like, it sounds dumb to even say that you want to be with somebody like that. Um, let's see. Banana Muffin says, I think the background check is just because Liv had Zolo living with her and she picked him up from a halfway house. Okay. Well, is the judge aware that Liv did that? Because if that's the case, then that would definitely make sense. Banana Muffin, you also said she has the Joey storyline just for a storyline, just like the homeless storyline and the lawyer storyline. I agree. Hey, Teresa, you said Gerard is not jealous. I agree. Melissa, you said, I think being homeless and pregnant by a current DOC resident will hurt her visitation. Yeah, it definitely could. So if Gerard uses that in court, then that'll be on her because she put that bullshit out here. Um, KW says, what happened? Child, nothing happened. We just sitting over here talking about, Olivia's advertisement for her GoFundMe. She's trying to get the people to donate, okay? But apparently something has already happened. I think enough people have already reported the GoFundMe and people are unable to donate. So far, she's only gotten $20, okay? Um, you said MGTV, I'm glad you're not easily swayed. No, 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 I'm not. Um, She needs a lawyer for what? She's saying she needs a lawyer for custody. But she has a child support case supposedly that's at the end of this month. The child, it just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't. Joey's her stepfather. She does not need a lawyer. People, please wake up. Them kids don't want to live with her. Mm. Melissa, you said with his daughter at 12 a.m., isn't he in New York? So his daughter doesn't have school tomorrow. Child, he lives with the daughter, maybe. Maybe he has a wife and all the kids live with him and the wife. And that's why he can't answer the phone. Patsy Foster says she has a man taking care of her in the last two ones. Then he should help her with a lawyer. How come she cheated on him 30 days after they got married? Go to work. What? That's a good point though, you guys. So far she has given Joey all the credit, right? Joey is taking care of AJ. He's paying for his school, buying him clothes. He's paying half of her rent. Joey's doing all the things. Why isn't Joey giving up money for the attorney then, since Joey has so much money to give out? That's a good point. Banana Muffin, you said Joey doesn't exist. He doesn't know that Kalani exists. He probably doesn't even know Liv's full name. I think it was a full-on one-night stand, and that's it. Listen, that could definitely be the case. I honestly don't think that Joey exists either. I don't. I mean, I just don't. I think that Olivia just makes up stories to make herself feel better, or to try to make people think that she's not as down bad as she actually is. Because the reality of the situation here is that she has had two additional children. All right. And these two additional children do not have active fathers in their lives. So she tells these stories, to try, I guess, attempt to throw the people off and make it seem like it's not that bad. That at least one of the men want to be bothered with her and the kids. Um, Jack Lee, she says she claims to be in a relationship but just had an AB by another. Exactly. Like I said, what kind of weak ass man would put up with that shit? So Joey's in a relationship with her. Immediately after, she just smashed a criminal, right, and got an AB. Only a weak man would tolerate that. That just doesn't sound realistic. KW said people still don't understand the case is closed. um. So so there's so you did say this plenty of times before that the case is closed. You definitely did. If the case is closed, then that means that nobody can file contempt or anything. I don't think that the case is completely closed where you cannot reopen it. Now, I don't know for sure because I don't look into these things. I have no idea what the status is with the case. Now, you're saying that the case is closed, but however, if it's actually closed, if there are issues with the current custody agreement, it would have to be reopened again if somebody should file a contempt to let the judge know that the current order is not being followed and abided by. SJ, you said people were saying the GoFundMe is no longer working and they were getting refunds. Yeah, the people have reported it. You know they did. I mean, we all figured that was going to happen. Um, yeah, the judge knows that this happened during the custody case. Okay. Melissa, you said he's in New York, right? My baby, I've been asleep because tomorrow is first day of school in New York. Okay. Joey has 20 something and she have baby. Child, it's too much. And I still can't keep up with the chat. I'm all the way up there. Hey, Angel T. Hey, Everyday Life. You said, I know Joey isn't real because if he was, she would be a story on Dateline. Ain't no real man about to watch his woman obsess over an ex. I agree. Like I said, it would have to. Look, I don't know a man that's that weak that would be willing to be with you after you just had an AB by some random man. Okay. And then you're constantly obsessing over your ex. But he's the one that's just giving you all this damn money, knowing everything that you have going on right now. Makes no sense. So I agree. KW, you said the case is closed. Okay, well then, sis, the case is closed. Okay, it's closed. Angel T, you said, I can't believe after she scammed good people, she still has the audacity to ask for more money. No shame. No, Olivia has no shame. She doesn't. She does not. Um, Banana Muffin, you said Joey didn't even visit her while she was in Florida for 3 months. Um, that was a cheap plane ticket from New York. If Joey doesn't give a fuck, if there is a Joey, he's not coming because she's in Florida. Why would he go visit her there? The fuck? He's not coming anywhere. He does not care about the child. There is no Joey. I need some water, y'all. I'm thirsty as hell. I've been talking all this time. Um, Banana Muffin, you said MGTV. You have to figure out how to put the comments on the screen. I think that would be easier for you. Possibly, you're right. I do have to figure that out. I'm currently reading y'all comments off my phone while actually doing the live stream on my laptop, y'all. It's a mess. It's a mess. I got to get it together. Everyday Life, you said, I like how she said Joey is a real man because he didn't care about her sleeping with Gerard. That's her idea of a real one. Like Gerard will allow to get away with anything. No, real men don't allow you to sleep with. First of all, that's unattractive. If your man would allow you to sleep with another man, he doesn't give a damn about you. He doesn't. Because a man who cares about you does not want you giving his cat away. So there's that. That is not, first, he's not your man, for one. He's not. Because if he was, he would not be okay with it. Life of Nancy, you said it's like she has to try to prove a point that her baby daddies want her, but really they just used her. Doesn't make her any better at all, just slow. I agree with you. She wants to prove a point, and she doesn't want to give the people the satisfaction of knowing that, she has 3 baby daddies and none of them are interested in being with her. Okay. Only one of them truly cares for his children and he has taken them from her. And then the other 2 don't give a damn about the kids at all. They just out here living life. So she has to keep lying. She has to. Annie, you said she broke the scam code and is going to get all she can on top of her checks from YouTube and TikTok. Yeah. She sure is. Anyway, y'all, I'm tired of talking about Joey and this bullshit. Long story short, I came on here just to, react to that video with y'all. If y'all missed it, rewind it back, catch the replay if you want to. But I'm going to have to end it here. This concludes my reaction on Olivia. It's not much more to talk about, okay? I'm over it. Um, if I have time tomorrow, I will definitely get on here and react to the live that she did tonight, that she's still on. And I also want to get a couple other videos done as well because, yeah, that's just what I want to do. So I will definitely see all of you tomorrow for sure. Okay, but that's all I have for you guys. Real quick before we get off here, I'm going to ask everyone to please hit the like button before you leave. Okay, show me some love. Comment your thoughts down below if y'all have not done so already, and also hit the subscribe button too. Okay, and until next time, I will see you all later. I hope everyone has a wonderful night. Okay, bye bye.